Welcome to day 5 of my 12 days of components. Still got the croaky voice. Today we're going to look at adding some presents underneath these trees. So we're going to look at flexible sizing of our SVG and the things we need to be aware of. So here we are in our app with our 4 trees and our rotating star from yesterday. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to components. And we're going to add a brand new component. So we're not going to copy one today. So new component. And there we are, there's our box. And what we're going to do is we're going to, just as we have before, we're going to insert an image. Okay, so from the insert ribbon, pick image. And let's quickly change its parameters so that it's X and it's Y starting 0, 0. We're going to click on width and make it parent dot width, and the height, let's make that parent dot height so it fills the whole screen. So the image we're going to put into here is going to be SVG, so I'm going to get rid of that sample image, okay, and we're going to put in some SVG, and this is going to be a really simple little bit of SVG. So I'm going to copy and paste. Let's expand that down and have a quick look. So it's standard SVG with a view box 0 to 100 and a rectangle that fills that hole, starts in 0, 0 and goes to 100, 100 and is filled with blue. And there we are, we get a blue square. Doesn't look much like a present at the moment, so let's add a couple of other rectangles. And I'm going to copy and paste those in. So we'll add them in after. I'll put a shift return into there and add them into there. Now let's just quickly do a bit of tidy up, some tabbing in. So there we go. I've added in 2 rectangles, and because they're after, they're put in front. Okay, so there we are. We've got a very simple little present. So now I'm going to go back into my screen. Oh, let's rename the component. My apologies. So let's go for there and let's put in day 05 present. And let's go back into our screen. Okay. And from the insert ribbon, we're going to go to custom and we're going to put in day 05 present. And there we are. It's huge. And there we go. We can resize it. Okay. So we've got a present in there. Well, let's add in another one. Okay. But not all my presents are going to be square. So, but if I make that wider, do you see the square just stays there? Doesn't matter how I resize it, my present stays square. And that's because it's a fixed size. It's 100 by 100. It's a square. So let's go back into our component and onto that image. Now, if we want to start in 0, 0, so let's take each part in turn. The width, I want to be however wide it is. And the way you can do this is instead of saying 100, we could change it to say 100%. And we could say the height is also going to be 100%. Now, when it comes to the ribbons, okay, if I go for it being 45%, but always starting at the top, so 0 can stay as 0, and the width is going to be 10% of the present, which means you're possibly going to end up with some slightly strange looking ribbons, but that's okay. I'm sure it will look fine. So I am just putting a percentage in front of all of my numbers. Sorry, not in front of, at the end of. Let's get it right. Okay. So the zeros I'm leaving alone, but everything else has had a percentage put in. And then I am removing the view box. Okay. So now it's not restricted to being a square. And if I now go back to my screen, there you go. My long present has become a long present. And if I add a third present, I can have a tool present over here. Okay, so we can have our different sizes and they work. So that is using percentages as our measurements rather than fixed values to create our different size presents. So, if you haven't already, please press subscribe. Take care now.